She didn't scream or confess through tears. She said it casually, almost lazily, like she was asking what we should eat for dinner. "I think I want to date someone else," my wife said, scrolling on her phone, not even looking at me. The words hung in the air, heavy and disrespectful. I waited for the punchline, for her to laugh and say she was joking, but it never came. Instead, she smirked and added, "I mean, we're adults. It's not like I'm doing anything wrong yet." Something inside me shifted at that moment. Not anger, not sadness, but clarity. She expected yelling, begging, jealousy. She expected me to fight for her. Instead, I just nodded slowly and said, "Okay." That single word made her look up. Her smile faded slightly. She wasn't prepared for calm. Inside, memories replayed. Years of loyalty, sacrifices, nights I stayed quiet to keep the peace. I realized she wasn't asking for permission. She was testing how disposable she thought I was. And in that moment, I decided I wouldn't give her the reaction she wanted. Calmness became my weapon. She leaned back, clearly disappointed. "That's it? You're not mad?" she asked, almost offended. I shrugged and took a sip of my coffee. "Why would I be?" I replied. That's when confusion crept into her eyes. She had rehearsed this conversation in her head. My anger, my jealousy, maybe tears. My calm response shattered her expectations. She tried to provoke me. "He's better than you in some ways," she said. "More ambitious, more exciting." I smiled faintly and nodded again. "I hope it works out for you," I said. That was when she put her phone down, studying me closely, like she was searching for hidden anger. But there was none. I wasn't numb, I was done. Inside, I had already detached. I realized something powerful. When someone disrespects you openly, the most shocking response isn't rage. It's indifference. My calm wasn't weakness. It was acceptance of reality. And acceptance scared her far more than anger ever could. Over the next few days, she started acting strange. Suddenly, she wanted reassurance. She dressed up more, lingered near me, laughed louder at my jokes. She expected competition. She wanted me to feel threatened. Instead, I continued living normally. Gym in the morning, work, quiet evenings. I stopped asking where she was going, stopped checking my phone, stopped caring. That's when panic slowly set in for her. One night she asked, "You don't want to know who he is?" I looked up calmly and said no. Her eyes widened. She wasn't prepared for being emotionally irrelevant. Cheaters thrive on reactions. They need validation from two sides. When I removed myself emotionally, the triangle collapsed. She began projecting, accusing me of hiding something, of being cold, of planning something behind her back. I wasn't. I was simply choosing peace. And that silence, that emotional distance, started eating at her far more than arguments ever did. Then came the day she finally went on the date. She dressed carefully, over-applied perfume, and stood in front of the mirror longer than usual. "I'll be late," she said. "Don't wait up." I didn't respond. When she left, the house felt quieter, but not lonelier. I slept peacefully that night. No pacing, no anger, no anxiety. The next morning, she came home early, eyes tired, movements tense. She expected questions. She expected jealousy. Instead, I was making breakfast. She hovered in the kitchen, clearly unsettled. "Aren't you going to ask how it went?" she finally said. I looked at her and replied calmly, "Your dating life isn't my business." That sentence hit her harder than any insult could have. Her face dropped. She suddenly realized what she had lost. Not another man's excitement, but my emotional presence. And once that's gone, it rarely comes back. That evening, she tried to backtrack. "I don't think I want to see him again," she said carefully. "I just needed attention." I nodded. "I understand," I replied. No relief crossed her face, only fear. She expected forgiveness to come with control. Instead, my calm made it clear that the dynamic had changed permanently. I wasn't angry, because anger means attachment. I had already let go. She asked quietly, "Do you still love me?" I paused before answering. "I respect myself more," I said. That was when she broke down crying. Not because she loved me deeply, but because she realized she could no longer control me. Calmness stripped her of power. I didn't shout. I didn't threaten divorce. I didn't beg. I simply stopped bargaining with my worth. Over the following days, she became desperate, checking my phone, asking where I was going, suddenly craving deep conversations. The roles had reversed. She had wanted freedom without consequences. What she received was emotional distance she couldn't manage. One night, she admitted, "I didn't think you'd react like this." I looked at her calmly and replied, "Neither did I until you showed me who you really were." My calm forced her to face herself without distractions. No drama, no chaos, just consequences. She realized too late that respect, once lost, doesn't return with apologies alone. It requires accountability, and I wasn't sure she was capable of that anymore. Eventually, she asked the question she had been avoiding. "So what happens to us?" I didn't rush to answer. I told her the truth. "I'm deciding if this marriage still adds peace to my life." She cried harder than I'd ever seen. She begged me to react emotionally, to yell, to fight, because that would mean hope. But calm clarity left her nowhere to hide. For the first time, she understood that wanting someone else isn't harmless. It rewrites how you're seen forever. And some things, once seen clearly, can't be unseen. In the end, my calm reaction became the loudest statement I ever made. I didn't punish her. I didn't embarrass her. I simply chose self-respect over chaos. Whether the marriage survived or not, one thing was certain. She would never forget the moment she tried to replace me and realized too late that I had already emotionally walked away. Calmness isn't weakness. Sometimes it's the strongest boundary you can set. And for her, that calm reaction was far more terrifying than anger, because it meant she no longer controlled how much she mattered to